Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of TFG Radio. Tonight, as always, it's myself, Adam, and we have Danny,
Hey.
and tonight's special guest is Paul.
And feeling special. Hey.
Paul does his own podcast. I believe it's West Coast Gamers. I believe that's what it is.
Left Coast Gamers.
Oh, Left Coast. Sorry.
Yeah, we're on the left coast.
Left Coast Gamers, which is mainly it's mainly a historical podcast, right?
Right.
A historical wargaming podcast.
But we talk about cool other games.
You talk about other games. I don't know if Conflict 47 falls into historicals or both.
It does.
But I only mention it because I did play Black Powder, and then Danny caught me playing Pike and Shot, the Warlord games at the store.
You look like I caught you with your Sancha or something. your face was very much, what are you doing here?
Yeah, so I got to play that. I tried to get like the local guys to come out to the store, but they haven't yet. But there's a few younger guys, younger to me and to us, a few younger guys that are kind of chomping at the bit to play, mainly because they bought the Warlord Epic models. So I played Napoleonics with someone that has the Epic Waterloo set, and then I played the Pike and Shot with someone that has the Epic. What's it called? Push and Pike.
I'm not familiar with that. Are these the 15s or the 10s?
These are the 13.5 Epic, quote unquote, Epic scale that Warlord does.
Oh my gosh, that's like a non-existent scale.
Yeah, from what I've heard over the Discord, the various Discords and stuff that I'm in, Callistra is the only company that makes models, even though I think they're supposed to be 12 millimeter, but they come out just about the same size as the Warlord stuff. So if you're looking for stuff that's like roughly the same size in that Warlord doesn't produce, then you go to Callistra.
But they always say you can play any model size you want.
Yeah, but they're going out of their way to make these models so that nothing else matches with them, I think, because they have the Gallic Wars, American Revolution, American Civil War, Pike and Shot, and Waterloo are their other current sets that they have out. And I think they put out a tutorial how you can paint the American Revolution ones so you can play 7 Years War with them.
Right.
So we'll see if they do any other periods, but for the quote unquote epic scale, that's but I mean, we have a box of I think Pike and Shot at the store, but a couple of guys are looking to play. There's at least 3 or 4 guys. I'm probably going to try to do like a historical game day, but I haven't decided when yet. So
like bolt action and
yeah, because we sell bolt action. We finished up a Conflict 47 league recently. So there's interest there, but it's kind of slow to pick up. I think I just need to start playing different, whether it's something like from Two Fat Lardies or Warlord or from Osprey, just something to get people interested in playing outside of sci-fi and fantasy games. So there seems to be a growing like need for it, or people outside of the groups that both you and I know, Paul, because these are people that I've never seen before, and they're all young, like in their early to mid 20s so far.
And they're playing Conflict, basically.
They're playing Conflict, or they're playing other historicals, like I said, the Pike and Shot and Waterloo or Napoleonics, basically.
Which is very abnormal to have younger people playing.
Yeah, these are all guys that, like, one guy's in college, but he's a history major in college.
Well, there you go.
So he also plays Baron's War.
I don't know if I've ever seen someone under the age of 35 play a historical game. So.
Well, you just saw it when you saw me playing.
I would say 55. The last convention I went to, it was like, yeah, it was.
Well, I think in that regard, it might be the cost to get in because technically there's no fee, but if you want to play, it's like X amount of dollars to play at the convention, at the local convention. So,
Yeah.
and plus, if they're college kids or that age, they may not have a car or they may not want to drive, especially with the price of gas right now. So who knows? But I'm trying to get more action on that level in terms of getting people to play. So
Well, Two Fat Lardies is really easy to get into.
yeah, there's
They
that.
do a really good job.
They have a bunch of rule sets. Yeah, they have a bunch of rule sets. Osprey has a bunch of rule sets. So it's just trying to figure out what to like present and what to maybe. But I think whatever I put out there, people might show up just because they want to try it out. So, and like most historical gamers, I have a plethora of rule sets to choose from.
Mhm.
So
Many from the 80s and 90s, right?
mostly 90s,
Mostly 90s.
mostly 90s, early 2000s. Although you can find a lot of the 80s rule sets for cheap on eBay, but they're very involved.
Mhm.
Because that's the old charts. If you played like classic BattleTech, that gives you a taste of what 80s rule sets were like.
Yes.
And even
One of my
yeah.
One of
And
the podcasters totally into Battletech.
Oh really?
The tournaments, yeah, and he wins a lot of the tournaments too. He's really good at it.
Yeah, the classic BattleTech still played a lot. But I tell people if you really want to know what a old school historical game was, play and you want to play sci-fi, you play Starfleet Battles.
Ooh,
Oh god.
that's,
Oh god.
that's a lot of charts with a lot of box ticking, literally. Box
Yeah.
ticking.
Yeah. I think people's head for nowadays. I think a lot of people's heads would explode unless you're into that type of stuff.
Yeah, it's daunting. Just the display for the starships.
Yeah.
If you have like 30 shields and you have 30 little boxes,
Mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness.
You have to manage all of that.
Yep.
But that's for another podcast. We could go for days doing that. But we're here to talk about a couple things that happened for me and the Adepticon preview and essentially the new edition. But we'll go over the part no one probably cares about really quick. I did help Nick from Dice Hammer with the California Team Championship a couple weeks ago. It's a 5-man team event. We had 54, no, I can't remember now. I think it was like 40 teams. It's fairly smooth. I mean, it's at this point, everyone knows the rules. We didn't have too many issues. We did have a team refuse to play another team, and that caused kind of an issue. But in the end, it's whatever. There wasn't anything in place for something like that. Let me put it that way. Because normally teams, at least in a team event, they don't do that.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't think I've heard of that in a team event where people are flat out unwilling to play another group of people, as opposed to like one random dude who's maybe got problems.
Yeah. So we didn't know how to handle it. I suggested maybe because of the way the captain handled it, I suggested that the captain not be allowed to be captain for at least next year, but we ended up not doing that, or at least as far as I know, we didn't. It was just weird, but other than that, everything else was fine. Which was, I think, one of the XPZ teams won. I forget which one because they had like 5 teams. The best team was an XPZ team. They were the Macho Man team because they're all dressed as Randy Macho Man Savage.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
And they won the best team spirit award. So it's just funny watching them walk up to the venue while people that are going to Disneyland are looking at them kind of weird. Because the event took place at a hotel like down the street from Disneyland. It's in OC. But it was a fun event. The Dice Hammer runs about 4 events a year, 5 events. It's 3 team events and 2 singles events. And they run the original Palm Springs Open. not the co-opted one, but from GW. Well, I think now they call it Palm Springs Classic. So, and then also, Danny and I got to play a game of 40K.
I know, it's been a while. It's been longer than I think either of us want to admit.
For you, maybe. I played a couple times for the like it's mostly teaching games though.
Yeah.
Let me guess, Chaos versus Mids?
Yeah.
Yep.
I wanted to try out the new Defiler rules. So, they're pretty good.
Yeah, I'm was very, very impressed. I also tried out the the new Tyranid Prime with Lash Whip, and was not as impressed. At least not with what do you call it? Warriors. Probably better leading Hormagaunts or Termagants, but
Right. I told Danny earlier, or the guys earlier, that it felt more like a Rogel Dorn for Chaos because it has so many guns. But
yeah,
I think
no, I'm.
uh-huh.
Oh, God.
No, go ahead.
Never. I was gonna say I'm excited that you can take them for World Eaters because it looks like they'll be available to all Chaos.
Yeah.
Because in a World Eaters list, having like 2 mobile gun platforms like that really, really, really would help. Like, really would help.
I think the big thing about it is the movements increase to 12, and more importantly, they can move through terrain. And even though the base is like 160 millimeters or something like that,
Yeah, it's a big
the
piece.
12-inch movement is still enough to clear most terrain pieces if you're close enough. And it's just, I think it's a big game changer because you can put it behind the terrain so it can't get shot, and then it just pops forward without having to go around. So,
Yeah,
Not
that
like
was.
a knight where it has to take a battle shock does.
yeah, and they don't have to do that either. They just walk through.
So they're just better than knights.
In some ways.
Yeah.
Knights
Still,
with less wounds and less toughness.
yeah, because they're only T11, like a baby knight, somewhat, and then 18 wounds. So, still pretty good. It's still a 3-up, 5-up, so kind of like knights.
But they're 5-ups all the time, isn't it, though?
Oh yeah, like the
Yeah,
knights who
so-
have it only in shooting.
Shoot.
I think, even though the power scourge or the electro scourge is kind of cool, I think being a full dedicated guns platform works the best for it right now. Because firing 4 last cannon shots is kind of cool, along with all the other stuff.
Yeah, no, it's I was very impressed more by its shooting potential.
Yeah.
Although I guess if it gets popped into an army where there's a way to get it advance in charge, then I could see having one with the scourge because the scourge is freaking sick.
Well, there's
Uh,
the Raiders detachment, the original
right.
the original Corsair detachment, where everything where that has a strat that lets them advance in charge. Because I was playing it as pack bound zealots.
Right, because that gives you all the bonuses to dark dark packs, right?
Yeah, the marks they procs on 5s for a bunch of stuff instead of 6s.
Right.
And there's some strats that can be used that like the one I use where I'm able to fall back in charge.
Mm-hmm.
Things like that. I forgot I had it, but I could have used the Nurgle strat too, about -1 to hit, or you can't hit it. Shoot at it if it's more than 18 inches. But they performed well above their weight, I think,
Yeah.
in terms of just being a nuisance and being in the way while the rest of my stuff is moving up. Because you had to deal with because all I did was just immediately just push them forward, and that's something you have to deal with. Especially if you have very few shooting options, like I think you did.
Yeah.
And so it soaked up whatever firepower you had, and they may have to be super expensive distraction carnifexes in that regard, because the other shooting stuff in that army that I used, they didn't have as many wounds so it wouldn't survive as long as the two defilers did.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
I take it Danny lost.
Yeah, pretty badly.
yeah, it was something like it was less than 50 points because we did the team. In a team setting, it would have been 19-1.
Yeah.
So they lost by like 47 points or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, it was not the Bugs' finest outing, but I was also doing I was doing a not great list and just testing to see how it worked. And yeah, Warriors are just
Still trash.
still trash. Like
Maybe next edition.
yeah, you know, right.
We've been saying that since fourth.
Yeah. There
They've
were random times when they were good, but not anymore.
but I think that was like detachment specific, not necessarily codex specific. Like the Crusher Stampede.
Oh yeah, that was a good time.
Well, maybe they'll have a new specialized detachment.
They're supposed to. Yeah.
Well, I mean, we'll have to see because of what they've. Well, we'll go into that now because that's really what people want to hear, right?
That's right.
So, Adepticon had the reveals. They revealed. We'll go over the stuff that I personally don't care about, but if Danny wants to interject or Paul, they're more than welcome. In no particular order, they showed us Underworld stuff, which is one warband, so I guess they still support it.
Yeah.
More so than Warcrow, I guess. They showed the trailer for Aeronautica Imperialis. Cool, I guess. Sure. 30K. They showed what you see in the image, the avatar for Paul, which is the new Imperial Fist tank of all bolters.
Heavy bolters.
All heavy bolters, right. And you said how many there were? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10?
10, yeah. 2 in the front and 4 on each side.
That reminds me of the what was it called? The Land Raider Ultima, the one with all the las cannons.
Oh, right, yeah.
Where it had like
That's a
8.
blast from the past. That's like 7th edition, wasn't it?
Yeah. I think that one had like 8 las cannons. Just replace all the heavy bolters with las cannons, basically.
It had like 4 sconces of twin link las.
Oh, that's right. So it was 2, 4, 6. Yeah, it had 10 las cannons also.
And I don't remember what was in the center, probably an assault cannon.
Yeah, so that's for Heresy only. Spartan Prometheus assault tank. I'm just going to call it the Imperial Fist tank because everyone knows that's who it belongs to. Finally, plastic Ogren, because those models were in resin before. The support batteries in plastic. They had the plastic Space Marine versions, I believe. And then a book for the Battle of Talarn. But I wonder if they'll put out tank bundles for that. Because for those that don't know, the Battle of Talarn was Horus Heresy. It used to be like a green planet, and then because of all the battles and stuff, it turned into a desert planet, and where everyone had to fight inside of vehicles or Titans or Knights. And so they're putting out a book, but I'm wondering if they're going to put out any special like tank battle force or something for it, probably. But that was Horus Heresy. I can hear everybody excited for all that because all of us play Horus Heresy. Middle Earth, new Riders of Rohan, new Hill Tribes, all based off the movie essentially that nobody saw.
Yeah.
Burning of the Westfold. That's basically what that is. And we do know there's the Hunt for Smeagol or the Hunt for Gollum.
Hunt for Gollum.
Is coming out, and then apparently Stephen Colbert is going to write a Middle Earth movie.
That's the rumor.
Ugh, that's terrible.
Listen to the English speaker talk.
It's just like leave it alone, guys. Like just like you don't need to make a sequel. Like you really don't.
Well, I don't know what it is. The rumor is that it's the it's the part of the book after Frodo. I think it's after Frodo leaves, and but before the hobbits die, when they retrace their steps back to Gondor. I think it's when Pippin and Merry go on their way to like die in Gondor.
Yeah.
Oh, uplifting.
Yeah.
I don't see what the like. There's no like. Yeah, I'm just
Who knows?
like I
But,
don't.
but Danny, who knows what adventures they can get in on the way?
Nothing good.
Meals they can cook.
I didn't say it was good. I just said it was adventures. Um, but that would give GW more stuff to like make and sell instead of doing rehashing the same stuff they have the license to. Because I think their license only deals with the movies.
Yeah.
I don't think they deal with the literary. Otherwise, you'd see some of the the unfinished tales, things like that.
Yeah. Yeah. They are the what is it? The Rings of Power. The
Rings of Power, yeah,
Amazon.
Oh yeah, you would see Rings of Power models.
Yeah, which would honestly be a better bet because that's got some cool stuff in there, time period wise. So
Well, that's all before. That's when the Rise of Sauron.
Yeah,
That's a really interesting storyline. Have you seen it?
yeah, I like Rings of Power quite a bit.
I wasn't too impressed with the first season, but I watched the second season. I was much more into it then. Unlike Wheel of Time.
It's definitely.
But you didn't like the Mount Doom being built?
I mean, I thought it was great in general.
No,
Epic.
towards the end. The second season brought me back.
Okay.
I'm just gonna. I've said this before, but I'll say it again. When people are like, "No, I didn't really like Rings of Power. It doesn't feel like Tolkien." I'm just like, that's my "you don't know ball" like kind of comment. I'm just like, there's a scene in Rings of Power where an elf cries while they are forced to cut down a tree, and there is nothing more Tolkien than that. Like in this world.
I'll go with the English major on that. I'll go with the English teacher on that one. Let's see, what else did they have? No Old World. I don't know if that's good or bad.
Like always, they forget it exists. There's the Walking Castle.
Yeah, so
The cogs for it.
the City of Sigmars and Age of Sigmars is basically all they talked about for Sigmar was the Cities of Sigmar release, which included a husband and wife Gargant pair, which I think actually the way their shields work when you put them next to each other is pretty cool. And there's the what are they called? Cogs? I want to say Cogsworth. Cogfort. which are essentially knights for 8 Cities of Sigmar. Especially in the way that you can use them in any army.
Yeah.
So they can be a big centerpiece for for any faction in any army, and I can see like people that play those armies use one as a centerpiece for their display.
Oh yeah, definitely.
If they're like trying for like a painting, any painting awards or things like that.
Yeah.
So I think it looks pretty cool. So one version has like a landing ramp or whatever, and different types of guns. But yeah, I think
one looks like has a portal or like an opening, or troops can come piling out.
Yeah, I think they said there's a version where it transport troops, kind of like a Gorkanaut or Morkanaut.
Right.
So I mean, I'll say it's going to be. I'm going to be. Oh man, how much is a knight right now? 200.
Yeah, about.
So I'm going to say it's about that same price, 200.
I wouldn't doubt it. Wouldn't doubt it at all.
Guy on a weird mount with wings. It's 2-headed. Yeah, a goat and a eagle, stork. I don't know what it is.
Like the eagle stork.
Yeah, sure. And then the fire wizard looks cool. I'm just gonna call him a bell wizard. The Bell Wizard reminds me of one of the opponents in Expedition 33.
Yeah, I can see that.
There's one where they ring their head looks like a bell.
Yeah. I don't remember their name, but absolutely.
So I'm assuming inspirations from there. And then the two what they're calling gate gargants, and just like the other gargants, they have not little. They have normal sized people on their heads and little crow's nests. But this one is like a husband and wife duo. So it's like the first female gargant. So people are wondering if they're going to make more female gargant models.
Right.
Little terrain piece. Special character with a dog. I think it's a dog. No. Some type of feline? I don't know what it is. Oh, it's a ash panther. Sorry.
Ash panther. Okay.
And then a malice forged priest. Kind of reminds me of the Sigmar priest from fantasy.
Oh, right.
And then the different knights and stuff. The knights kind of look cool.
What about City of Ash? Is that like a...
City of Ash is for Spearhead.
Right.
So it's like for us that works out well because we recently ran a Spearhead League, so with the new Spearhead we'll probably run something. But Cities of Ash is the new Spearhead setting because we currently only have 2 and this is a 3rd one, which thank God. Because as much as I like Spearhead, it needs some variety.
It's overdue.
Yeah, and then a couple, the Spearhead, the Army Box, all that other good stuff. So, and then the Battle Tome for Cities of Sigmar. So, it looks pretty cool. Still won't play, but I'm sure Danny will get to play against it at some point.
Sure.
So the big thing was a couple things. They announced the Armageddon end of edition book.
So there's going to be broken shit in there.
Well, yeah. And then they also but more importantly, they teased the Steel Legion. So not just, and all they showed was like concept art. So I think they did that to appease the internet because everyone was kind of upset about the Steel Legion not being there, and then 2 when GW put that paint tutorial of, hey, here's how to paint your Krieg to look like Steel Legion. I don't think people were happy about that. They showed off a new orc. Well, not new. They showed off the Wazdaka Guts mech model because he's in the Armageddon book.
I mean, it's a pretty cool model.
Paul, your thoughts?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He's really cool.
Did you have an orc army? I thought you did.
I did, yes. Lost to the Altadinas.
Yeah. Commissar Yark. And then the new Commissar lady who looks, I'm not going to be lying, looks like not to be trifled with. And she comes with her own little, what someone put on the internet as Mr. Plow. For those Simpson fans. And then a new Inquisitor. Someone compared him to the hunter guy from the original Jumanji movie.
What do you always say? No, not good enough. Jimmy
Yeah.
Boy.
And then in Transia Fray Dogmata Superior, which looks like a updated Throne of Judgment If anyone remembers that model from
Oh yeah.
was it? It wasn't Torquemada, but I remember it was Throne of Judgment.
Wasn't it Karamazov? Inquisitor Karamazov.
Yeah, I don't remember. We had a bunch of new vehicles for the guard, and this is all just the Armageddon release, which I'm sure Paul will properly identify for us. So the Centaur, which is essentially a half track, people were comparing it to like the American half track from World War II or the German one.
Mm-hmm.
The Hanamag, as they called it.
Yeah. But
there's like a scout car, like an old M8 scout car too.
Yeah, they call it Hippogriff, AFE.
Yeah.
Nick was saying when we were watching the live stream that the turret's probably a little too big because it looks like a regular like main battle tank turret on it instead of something smaller.
Which makes it actually cooler.
You think so?
I think so, yeah. And from the M8 was just had this torquey little. Sometimes they just had a machine gun on it.
Oh, I see. Yeah, okay. I saw someone post asking if they can just use their bolt action models
There you go. Yeah.
to play an Imperial Guard. They showed off the book or books. They're gonna have a battle force, of course, that includes all these new models. This one includes, I think it's Cadian models with a Rogodorn, 2 of the AFEs, and then the half track. Sisters will get a battle force. Deathwatch get a battle force. I remember that. Orcs will get a battle force with a bunch of Death Coptas.
Yay!
That's pretty fun.
Yeah, I love Death Coptas.
And that's all for just for the Armageddon release. So you like the vehicles, Paul?
Yeah, I like the Death Coptas better and I just hope they give them better punch.
Well, you have to wait for the next edition for that one.
Yeah.
Someone was commenting that I don't say complaining, but they kind of didn't like that the Imperial Guard, the new vehicles, look too much like normal vehicles. But I was thinking that if they're just normal guys, I wouldn't invest too much into them as I would Space Marines. If I was like building an army realistically in that setting. So seeing like not repurposed, but if taking older designs that actually worked for the regular guys seems fine to me.
I think it's far enough away from World War II now where people don't really associate. And so they can kind of recycle those ideas.
Right. Danny, your thoughts?
Yeah, they seem fine. They definitely seem more like they belong in bolt action. But, they're not by any stretch of imagination like, these are garbage, right? They're just, not totally my aesthetic, but that's fine.
No, but I think even if it's like almost like, well, this half track's almost a straight copy, but even that's fine for me because if I just have basic guys, I'm just going to give them basic equipment and save all my to the army.
I don't think any of us actually collected a guard army, did we?
I had a guard army in 3rd and 4th.
Oh, that's so far ago.
Okay, well, screw you.
I don't think I played guard since.
I only played Trader Guard, especially in 7th.
I built 1 Valkyrie and then said I'm done.
Yes, I built at 1.6 Valkyries, and that was hell.
Oh, I remember that army.
Yeah, you had the Elysian drop troop army.
And you were like struggling to fit it on the table all the time. It's like, wait, this is gonna be fine. Hold on, just give me a few more minutes.
Yeah, I have to math this out real quick. It's like I know there's a mathematically possible formation here. Just give me a second to get there.
That was hysterical, but it was deadly too.
It could be. It was fun. I still think one of my favorite games I've ever played was in a tournament. What was that? The old Game Empire, but it was against Cooper Waddell, and it went to like I would have won if the game ended on 5, and he wins if it ended on 6. And that's how tight of a game it was. It was really just down to the wire, and then we rolled it out, and he rolled and got the 6. So he won. But man, it was such a back and forth game.
It was like you roll, if you roll one turn, you lose.
It was just it was such a really tight game of just kind of coming back, and I definitely made some good plays to come back and get in striking distance, and then just doesn't work out, that's fine. But yeah, that was such a really good time. Of course, if you have ever met Cooper, or Coop, he's
But the miniatures work for
he just knows his rules really well, and it's just
any space
to play.
Yeah, he always had those White Scars armies.
Yeah.
I just remember that Valkyrie army. How many do you have? Like 5 or 6?
I think the list I ran, if I remember, it was six Valkyries with a squad in each, 2 vultures, and oh god, what's the name of the last cannon guys?
The Vendettas?
The Vendettas, yeah, and the 2 Vendettas. Yeah, I mean you could fit a lot in that army, mostly because the guys were so cheap, because they just died instantly.
So and this all leads to the announcement of 11th edition. I don't think they called it that. I think you said new edition.
Yeah.
But so I guess we'll have to go through everything. And really it's just, the box looks exactly, but you can tell it was inspired by the original 2nd edition box because it features Blood Angels and Orcs. We already know it's Blood Angels and Orcs in it. They showed off one of the I almost said tactical marines, but
Intercessor, yeah.
Yeah, essentially, where it's intercessor size, but it has the old Mark 7 helmet. So you can almost call that a true. Would you call it a true scale marine then?
I mean, it just seems kind of what it is, but
You could call it an epic scale marine. Epic tactical marine.
So I'm curious what the other models will look like in terms of because they mentioned basically fluff wise, it's been going on a while now, so that they have to start. They used up all the new stuff, so they have to start incorporating some of the old stuff, which is why you see that Mark 7 head in the marine they showed off, and in the cinematic if you watch the cinematic. So I'm assuming we're getting a new intercessor box.
yep.
And then for the orcs, at least for the boys, they showed off the new boys, and according to them, the boys will come equipped with everything: slugga, choppa, shoota. You don't have to choose anymore.
You get a big shooter. One big shooter in there.
Yeah, that might be like,
Give it to the boss.
yeah. They already said the box set's going to be Armageddon, Space Marines versus Orcs. Obviously, different. There's a Space Marine Crusade. They said the codexes are fine. It's more of a soft reset, so it's not. You can still use your codexes. They say you can still use your detachments. However, there'll be 70 new detachments.
That seems like too much, but okay.
Well, I'm wondering.
You missed the part where they were going, it's going to be balanced. It's going to be balanced. You're going to play balanced game. I was like, how many times are you going to say balanced?
I don't remember them saying that, but I can see them saying that, just like when they told us 10th edition was going to be simpler. Simplified, not simple. I think that was 10th, right? Or was that 9th?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, that was 10.
Yeah. So I guess the buzzword now is balanced. So we'll see. But I thought the 70 included ones that are already out, but I'm not 100% sure.
Unless they're including the ones that are like in 500 years or
Right.
whatever.
They seem to want to combine narrative and match play so that there's no difference, which I find curious to see how that's going to work.
It's a dream. It's their dream. They're gonna stick to that dream.
we'll see how that dream pans out. So the detachments are the way they're going to work is they'll be more modular. So you can have multiple what they're calling like sub detachments in an army, and whatever detachments you do take, depending what you take when your opponents take, would kind of dictate what the mission is. So a lot of questions are like, does that mean mission cards are going away? Are there only going to be so many? So how they described it was that forced disposition, which is whatever detachments you take, would determine the mission that you guys fight over.
Well, it's a cross-indexed. It's what your opponent takes, and then what you take, and then it comes up with this.
Right. So I'm wondering if is it going to be like a matrix?
Yeah, it's going to be like that's what I'm hearing when they say you're going to have what you've taken, and you'll look at that on some column, and then some row for what your opponents take. Cross-index, and it'll say, oh, you're doing hammer of anvil, and you have 5 pieces of terrain as objectives, something like that.
That seems like a nightmare if that's true.
Well, that's what they explained.
Oh, that's going to be
what you and your opponent takes will make up what your game is going to be all about.
I mean, I'm very curious to see when that's explained. Very curious to see what happens with that.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of worried, but we'll see.
I'm very worried.
Not kind of.
Yeah.
I mean,
the no more circles.
So yeah, well, we'll get to that. No more circles. So all those objective marker companies out there, if they didn't know before, then they're kind of screwed because we all know certain people get to know beforehand or get a look at the rules, especially if they're play testers. So, but for everyone else, it's just kind of like, oh, okay, what am I going to do with all these circles? Someone suggested maybe because they said terrain are going to be objectives, you can maybe put the circles under the terrain so everyone can know which terrain are the objectives, which I guess is a good way to repurpose them. But we'll see.
And what's going to happen to the center objective? We're all used to having that center objective.
I mean, maybe they'll have a terrain piece in there instead.
Which we know what happens there, and one just turtles up, right?
Yeah.
So that's going to be.
I'm pretty sure they'll give us a taste of it before the release. I can't see why. I can't see them not doing it. Because so many people and there's so many tournament organizers that need to know, especially when they have events close to whenever the release date is.
Right.
Like ACO, they put a release date of June, but is that when they're going to do the pre-orders, or is that the street date?
Right.
I'm pretty sure that's the pre-order date. Like they're going to pre-order in June.
Well, there was the end of June, the last 10th edition, right?
Yes, I believe so. So if that's the case, and they always do that.
Yeah, they always.
Like October. And October was like, hey, order this stuff on the last Saturday of October, but you're not going to get it until November. So I can see them doing something like that. I can see them also doing like a long lead time, like, hey, the whole month of June is pre-orders.
Yeah, there you go.
So I think that might be. It sounds a little misleading, but I think that's what they're going to do. They'll pre-order June, deliver July.
And the pre-orders will all go out of stock in the first hour.
Well, yeah, of course. So I mean, we'll see. I don't know. I'm pretty sure it's going to be after ACO. Atlantic City has always been the last big event before an edition change. There was one year where it was actually the same weekend as the edition change. I think it was 8th edition or maybe 9th. I can't remember now. But one of the big, so there's a bunch of big, they teased a bunch of rules. One of the big ones is that you can only use one stratagem per phase for each unit. So what the example they gave was if you charge with a vehicle and you reroll the charge, then you can't use the tank shock stratagem because that happens at the end of the charge move.
I actually like that. It will stop Death Starring.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
A big thing. Plus, if they're doing these little attachments where they said, new detachments that bring back some units that haven't really been seeing some action, that just sounds like, wait, that sounds like building Death Stars again.
Right. So, yeah, no more, because there's some units where they stack like at least maybe 2 stratagems in a phase, whether it's +1 to hit and then falling back, or +1 to hit and then going into deep strike, or something along those lines. I never.
My robots, the Cybernetica.
Yeah.
You can boost their movement and then +1 to charge. And
right.
You can give them reroll hits, and then if they've got the squishy arms, the squishy claws, and they already have twin links, so you're rerolling hits and wounds. You're getting a +1 to your charge. You're moving like 13. So.
Yeah. So that's pretty cool. I so far overall I don't really mind the changes. We talked about the terrain change in terms of going from circles to like terrain. They also mentioned that if you are in a terrain piece, you get basically loan op 15 inches as long as you don't shoot. There might be more restrictions, like you don't move or whatever, but as long as you're in the terrain piece, so you can start. So right now, when you play a game of 40K, unless you're on the line, unless you're world leaders and you're on the line to charge forward, most people deploy directly behind a terrain piece. So I think this gives more incentive to be in the terrain piece to start the game, depending what you're playing against.
Right.
As opposed to like hiding behind the terrain piece and not to be out of LOS. So.
Also, battle line units are going to sit in terrain scoring it and not shooting, so they can't be shot. And
right.
People get in their face.
Yeah, and so I think that'll be a big help for, especially for things like scouts, things that can infiltrate. And depending what your opponent has or what your opponent is playing, they might last longer, since they'll have that special rule while they're inside the terrain piece, and then they can just do actions or whatever as long as they don't shoot. So.
Yeah, we'll have to see if you can move and still stay hidden.
So far, they just said as long as you don't shoot, then it applies. And then we don't know if when they say terrain, do they mean ruins or do they mean like small models on round bases? Like, you remember when they sold objective markers that were like pieces of tech or something? Right. I think that was 9th edition.
The cargo containers that are in this edition.
What? No, but I remember them selling objectives, what they called objectives, but they were things like some type of tube that had some alien in it or something, things like that, or a crate of whatever. But I don't know if they're going to go to that, or are they is it going to be actual, like, go take that hill, go take those. I mean, are we going to see hills and woods now?
That'd be cool.
I guess we have to wait for the.
Cool.
I guess we'd have to wait for the terrain rules to see if that's going to be a thing.
But don't you think the community is just going to go back to ruins?
What?
I just kind of feel like, they've always tried it, like, hey, you can play with all these different terrain types, and the community goes, nope, we'll just do ruins.
Yeah, but that's also GW's fault, because when they put out the pack, it was just all ruins.
Do you think they'll make some terrain pieces like that, like they did for Age of Sigmar and the Old World?
If they're moving more toward, some people are saying that's more Age of Sigmar in terms of taking terrain. Danny, is that true?
There are things where you have to, you fight over terrain. I mean, they still have the big circles and big circles and objectives and all that, but there are like battle tactics and stuff that involve controlling terrain.
Yeah, so I could see it, and yeah, that's all hills and woods for Age of Sigmar. Some ruins, but we'll see.
I mean, they're hinting at trench works and bastions and stuff. That would just be epic if they brought back that kind of terrain.
Did you say trench works?
Yeah.
Like in Trench Crusade?
No, I didn't get that gothic.
They just can't.
They mentioned it in the.
Yeah, they did. They mentioned trench works in it, so maybe they'll bring back the Wall of Martyrs.
Oh yeah.
They speaking of Trench Crusade though, they did put out they just announced a 2-player starter box.
Nice.
Sellouts.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see. Margins are still shit, but people want it.
Looks like such a great game.
It's not, the rules aren't that difficult, aren't that hard to learn, but it's just weird because they pivoted really fast to they pivoted to a corporate mindset, I guess. I don't know. Some people are upset about it, but
Does Crown City sell it?
Huh?
Are you guys selling at Crown City?
We have the one we had bought 3 boxes of the only official set that they made so far about 3 months ago, and we sold 2 of them. We'll probably get the starter set. It depends on interest. The issue, we'll sell it, but the margins are not very good for that one, or for StarCraft or Gundam.
Really?
Yeah, GW gives the best margins out of all of them.
Well, that's good to know.
Out of the sci-fi stuff, like Bolt Action probably is much better. Warlord's much better than GW, but GW is much better than. But I think for StarCraft, I think it's because I'm pretty sure it's because of the licensing fee.
Oh right.
Yeah, I could see.
Yeah. For Trench Crusade, I don't know why I don't know why the margin is like that. It could be because of the upfront cost. Maybe the price will lower further down the line once they made their money back. But for now, it's just like we'll carry it because people want it. Yeah. So. But anyway, on to 40K because that's what we're really here to talk about. Another special thing had to do with leaders. Basically, if you're a bodyguard, if you have a special... So currently, there's a number of HQ or characters whose special rule is as long as they're leading a unit, they get this special rule. So when the bodyguard unit dies, they lose whatever special rules they have, with reroll wounds or whatever. In the new edition, they actually get to keep that rule even if the bodyguard dies. So...
That has always been a weird thing, and I'm glad they brought that back.
Yeah.
That was just a mistake. But what about this combat phase cleanup and combat disembark?
So that's 2 different things. So the combat phase cleanup is a couple things. One, fast dice rolling is the standard instead of the exception. Where before fast rolling was kind of like convenient, and there were players out there that would make you slow roll because that was in the rules.
Right.
So now fast rolling is the norm instead of slow rolling. They changed fight first, so the active player gets to fight first if both units have it. Currently, it's the non-active player, so it's almost like, why bother charging that unit if I don't get to fight first? New edition, you charge the unit, you get to fight first, even if the unit you charge has fight first.
So one unit, right?
Yes. For pile-in, yeah. For pile-ins and consolidate, it happens to all units at once instead of you pick a unit, they pile in, fight, consolidate. You pick a unit, fight, pile in, fight, consolidate. So now it's everybody piles in. Then you do all the combats, and then everybody consolidates.
That's gonna be things tricky.
Yeah, I think it's going to be easier because a lot of people skip certain parts because they're just trying to get through the phase as quickly as possible. We'll see. That one, like you said, consolidate's tricky already. I think this will help a little bit. At least make things maybe go a little bit faster. The disembark and fight that you mentioned is if a unit's in close combat, if a transport's in close combat, the unit inside can get out, disembark, and fight. They'll just be battle shocked. So, right, unless it changes in the new edition, I am willing to take that battle shock to get my berserkers out there because a lot of the stuff they do doesn't need a stratagem.
Right, they're on their own.
Yeah. So, but even regular Chaos Space Marines, if I want a Dark Pact, I don't know if I can Dark Pack on battle shock. I don't know. I've never been battle shock.
Can.
Never been an issue. Yeah, I think you can.
Yeah, I think you can. I don't think it stops you from doing it. Just stops you from being OC 0. It makes you OC 0.
Right. Yeah, so it's just like, okay, sure.
Unless they change that.
But if my vehicle's already on the objective, then it doesn't matter.
Right.
But that's what I mean. So unless they change how battle shock works, which I hope they do, then it doesn't really have that big of an effect. Or it might not, but I guess is what I'm saying.
It's going to make us second guess charging vehicles with troops in it.
Right, that's what it really does.
Do I really want to break that can open? What about charging, measuring and charging? That's so cool.
So
That's the AOS way.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, so in AOS you don't declare a charge target, you just declare your charging. You roll whatever you roll, you measure to see if you have any eligible charge targets, and then from there you choose who you could successfully charge. So you're not locked in and being like, okay, I'm going to charge this guy, and you have to decide like, oh man, if I blow one, I blow both my multi-charge. It's just, okay, he's charging, I roll, oh crap, I got a 10. Okay, I guess he's charging this guy.
It also takes away the decision of multi-charging.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, that's the big thing.
It's not going to matter much for like deep strikes because they're always going to be 9. So.
Right. Okay, so think about this. What if I have a special ability or stratagem that lets me roll 3d6?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that is makes it so you can charge a lot of things. It's
Is that allowed in Age of Sigmar?
And in AOS, because you don't declare a charge against anybody. You can, when I play Kragnos, who gives everyone around him 3d6 charge. Like, I can just be like, okay, this big pig's charging. Oh shit, look at that, I rolled a 16. Okay, I'm gonna hit that guy. I'm gonna hit that unit way in the back that you thought was safe.
Right. Ooh. So if they keep it like that, then that's huge for a lot of units. Well, not for a lot of units, but units that have that. Or have access to it. I know there's a few. Is one of them demons?
I think mayhem. I'm not sure.
I know there's a few out there of that have like a 3d6 charge once in a while, or with stratagem or something. Mm-hmm. So, but yeah. So yeah. So the chart. I mean, I like it. Then
I think all of the changes to the charge phase, it's going to make the charge phase way easier to manage and not mess up. And it's just going to make it way more exciting.
Right.
You just move everything. Things can get into combat more readily. Yeah, it's just going to be a lot easier.
Yeah, so they mentioned updating the app in different languages and other stuff. New models.
Do you think they're going to try to steal tabletop battles?
Oh, the tabletop battles app?
Yeah, and make it all.
I don't know. All they talked about was the language.
Well, one of them said, "There's a couple things I know, but I can't say."
Oh, yeah. I can see them doing that. I can see them making a battle, whatever they want to call it. You know, a combat log or whatever, or what do they battle journal.
The whole app was a steal of the what we always used to use, which is Army Builder, and then Army Builder went away, and we all used whatever it was. That's gone away, and everyone has to use the app.
What was the other one? Army Builder. Army Builder's still around. The company and the program, but nobody uses it anymore since.
But they lost all their devs.
They lost all their devs around the beginning of 8th edition.
Right, and then their files just sat dormant, and the server walked away and never came back.
And then what was the other one? Yeah, that's how much. That's
how relevant it was.
That's how relevant it is now. Nobody talks about it. Battlescribe.
Battlescribe, yeah.
So everyone started using Battlescribe, and then the original developer did not make any updates for I think it was 2 years. And when that happens, Apple takes you off of the store, and because of that, he's not going to make money. So he made like small little tweaks and then put it back up. But because of that, and none of the guys who wrote the files, they did it for free.
Yeah. Same with the Army Builder too. They were doing it for free.
Yeah. So they're like,
no thanks.
Yeah, because the guy wasn't even updating it. Now people use New Recruit is one of them. There's a couple other ones, but New Recruit is the main one that everyone uses if they're not using the app.
Right.
I know I sound like a shill, but use the app.
Yeah. Well, it updates immediately.
Yeah. And more importantly, it's all anything we, at least for FLG, it's the only rules. It's the only one we quote unquote recognize. If you show me a New Recruit thing, I don't care.
Although I remember you saying, okay, if you're going to this tournament, don't update your app, and I will tell you how to do that.
That's yeah.
That. Like what?
Yeah, because there have been times where the new rules didn't make the rules cut off.
Right.
And if it releases the week of or the week lists are due, you're gonna have the wrong.
Update,
yeah. So you have to make it so that your app updates manually.
That's crazy.
So that's the key to that one. So we'll see what else they come up with. I mean, I'll be honest, I'm surprisingly happy with the app.
Mm-hmm.
So they did mention they'll tell us how Yorick came back.
Right, yeah, I was like, I thought that dude was dead, but oh well.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe he was reforged.
Maybe. He's a Primaris
Yorick.
So yeah. So if you watch the cinematic, you'll see the jump pack guys, you'll see the new weird boy. I'm assuming we're going to get a new land speeder.
Yeah.
I'm assuming we're going to get whatever that machine was the orc was that shot down the land speeder was using. We already saw the new war boss. There's the captain with the shield. So
there was some stuff hidden on the box art too. Somebody was saying.
On the box art? Let's see.
Yeah, like a chaplain or something.
Well, there's that chaplain with the jump pack.
Oh, is that it?
Well, in the cinematic.
Yeah, no, on the box. Someone was pointing out that there was something in the background.
Oh.
Anyways, I don't remember exactly what they said.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm trying to find a picture of the new box art.
Yeah, it's on the review, on the part 2 reveal.
Oh, okay. Let me see. Well, the chaplain in the cinematic had a jump pack.
Okay, that must have been it.
That might be what they're talking about. Danny, overall thoughts on the presentation?
I mean, it looks cool. I love that they're doing they're doing the homage to the second edition box, as that was, the box that I first got when I first started playing. The models, I'm sure, are going to look great. I don't know about. I mean, my biggest trepidation is the mission design based around your army comp. Just because I feel like, especially if you play a similar army consistently against like the same people who also tend to play the same army, like again your gaming buddy group, like that games could get really stale really quick because you're always kind of playing the same thing, right? The same mission, the same whatever. And I really liked, I do like the dynamic nature of the mission system we have now, right? That you don't quite know what you're going to get. There can be variations, right? I think that kind of those wrinkles make the game more enjoyable for the majority of players, right? So I don't know, like their whole messing with that makes me slightly nervous.
I mean, worst comes to worst, so it'll be the same fate as the Gambit cards.
Right.
Sorry, I know you just bought that, but
Paul, your thoughts?
I'm really hopeful. I think cleaning up the CC phase is really important because that can be tricky, and the hidden rule, I think that's going to make it really very cool. And they hinted at like Tau detachments that can take stealth suits and make them active. So I think it will really make it easier for them to bring units up, and we'll have more variety. So we won't see the same units all the time in
Right.
the plane. We'll see a lot more variety on the battlefield, which makes it really cool. I think that'll help the game a lot because I hate like building a bunch of models and going, oh, well, they're no good anymore. Huh.
Yeah.
So, I wonder if I'll ever play with those. And now we give it a chance to at least be competitive with them at least.
Yeah.
So I'm really hopeful. But I kind of feel it's not like a 10.5 for me. It's more 11, especially with the circles going away. And
Yeah,
terrain
it's a big enough
and
change
them,
to.
and them always selling stuff and saying, here's the new objective terrain. And if they make it cool enough, I think the community buys it and goes with it. Of course, you guys just printed all that terrain at the
I know.
store, so you'll be like, oh.
Well, that was the risk of like. So we have, so we're done. So my thoughts, real quick, is I'm liking everything I'm seeing. I'm with Danny in regards to like how is these mission selection or missions creation? How's it gonna work? Because I'm not when I'm looking at it from a tournament, a TO perspective. It's like, so does that mean each table might have a different mission? Does that mean like, so I don't have to, so normally what happens, Paul, is like, I'll say, here's what missions we're playing, right? So does that mean I don't have to do that? Does that just mean people just walk up to the table, compare what they have, and that determines what mission they're playing? Because that takes a load off the TO.
Well, yeah, but it doesn't make it very fun. Like Danny was saying, it's too one-dimensional.
Well, yeah, because if let's say you, especially if you get paired to against the same detachments every time, or for like, let's say half the tournament, and I'm wondering if
kind of the beauty of the game now, you have so many different layouts and so many different objective, primary, and it just makes it, the combinations are a lot, so you have a lot of variety. Like I'll play for weeks and just not have land on the same mission and the same deployment.
right. So yeah, that's my only concern. I mean, it'd be cool that I don't have to worry about what missions am I going to use. But I am worried in that, like, what missions are going to be generated. But that might not be my concern. That might be a player's concern, wanting to play the latest and greatest. Knowing, if you know that, then just know you're going to play. Especially once we figure out what the meta is going to be. If you know that picking this detachment means I have to play against. No, I'm always going to play this mission. And I think that's just something you have to plan for. But we'll see. We'll see when that comes out. I'm not worried about that. Danny seems to have dropped off, unfortunately.
Maybe some little guys woke up.
Maybe his kids, keep him busy, so it could be. It's fine. I just told him we're going to wrap up because we've more or less done with the presentation from Adepticon. At the time of this recording, they're probably still playing because they play until now. They're probably done because they play 4 games in a day at 2.5 hours or 2 hours and 45 minutes. So they usually finish around 10:30 Central Time. So usually about 8:30 our time here on the West Coast. But tomorrow's another 4 games for them. So good luck. But I think that's it for now. If you haven't already checked out the store, Crown City Games in Pasadena, it's Old Town near the Cheesecake Factory. Big parking structure behind us. We play 40K, AOS, occasional Old World, Conflict 47, MCP's picking up, all the card games, Magic, Pokemon. I'm trying to get historicals, Paul.
Yeah, I'll be there.
Get that going. Like I said, I'll probably in the next couple of days I'll probably post up put up a post saying, hey, when would people like to play, and then maybe pick a game and just bring it as like a demo, or pick a couple games so people have options. Because like I said, I have a lot of rule books, so.
Well, the store is so nice. It's so clean and it's so well organized, and the staff is awesome. It's just a great place to play. So I'm sure we're gonna get more people.
Yeah, it's just getting people. It's just finding people, and once we start playing, and people know that we play there, then hopefully more people will show up. But yeah, so that's it for tonight. Excited for the new edition, both as a store owner and as a player and as a judge. Paul, I know you're excited or
excited.
Cautious. Oh, okay, very excited.
Yeah.
So
I know the community will clean it up either way. So
yeah, and so far, as far as I can tell, GW responds to that.
oh yeah, definitely.
So I expect some type of correction within like the first quarter at least of, if not the first month or two of the new edition, because their Edmonton event will be around that, or like less than a month, around a month maybe. It's in July, I think. So if it comes out in June, it'll be about a month, and so that'll be their first taste, or GW's first taste of the new edition in a large tournament format. So hopefully that will give them some insight. And then LSO is like the first weekend in August. So it's 2 months after that. So and then yeah. So I'll have to deal with that when that comes around. But for now, I'm just dealing with Armo. But we'll call it a night there.
Okay.
Paul, any words of wisdoms for the listeners?
Just keep painting. We want to see awesome armies.
Great plastic forever.
Crazy things forever.
All right. Well, thank you everybody for listening. As always, don't forget to like and subscribe, whether it's on the podcast, whatever podcast you use, program you use to listen to us, or if it's on YouTube. We do appreciate it. If you are at one of our FLG events or at the store on a Monday or Tuesday, I'm usually there. Just come by and say hi. Always a pleasure. And I think that's it. So everyone, good night and have a pleasant tomorrow.